this election, as much as I pray and wish and hope that it is the turning point, tipping point, it is what we need as a country, something deep down inside me knows that this is not it. This is not it. So the election, yes, we might get a favorable, candidate to win. That's not going to be what will change Nigeria. I strongly believe that a revolution is what's going to change Nigeria. And every time a revolution happens, there's going to be bloodshed. These kind of things disturb people's mental health. I know me particularly, you look okay, you show up, you have to be there for your children. But these things are not normal. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Lade Owolabi. This is election morning and my husband and I decided that it would be a nice idea for him to make a video, addressing our people, and that video is available on his Instagram and TikTok pages at Juwon Owolabi. You can please follow him. I make videos from the city of Abeokuta, Ogun State, Nigeria, and I decided to document today's election, how it went down on our end. So it was pretty much a very chill day. There was no movement across the nation, and so we were indoors, we were home with the children. As usual, no electricity. In Nigeria, we have to generate our own power supply. We needed to charge our devices, so we had to turn on the generator to power our home basically. And this is really stressful because sometimes there's no fuel available, no matter how expensive it is, it's not available. And I talked about some of these challenges and these things that we've had to deal with, the situation we've had to live with, which is almost normal to us now. But having been in a different environment, in a different country where things work, I know how abnormal it is, and yeah, it's just been an experience. So I'm grateful that I'm able to at least document election morning, make food for my family, do some sort of self-care. I took a beautiful nap on election day, and as much as possible for my mental health, I stayed off social media, because one of the things that I strongly believe is that if there are going to be issues, it will stem from social media, and people are going to want to be sharing, there'll be a mix of propaganda. Some of these godfathers who feel like social media is where the youths are and all of that, they will go to that social media and cause katakata. So I kind of stayed off of social media just because of my mental health, but later on in the day, sometime at night, I was able to go with a clear mind and just, well, generally the elections was peaceful in my area. There was peace. A lot of people were playing soccer on the streets, on the road, and it was just really chill. That's how I can describe it. And real quick, I just want to commend every single person that went out to exercise their civic responsibility and right to vote. I'm super proud of my generation. I'm super proud of this vibe, this energy that's happening in 2023, guys. People are not playing. People I know that went out to vote, they stayed until their votes were counted and even waited for it to be uploaded. It's still a bit hazy. We don't know when the election results will be announced. They haven't even started announcing anything at all. And I'm editing this. It's Sunday morning. I'm going to be uploading today. I'm assuming that it will take at least a week before they can get back to us as to the results. Hopefully it's free and fair. Hi guys, good whatever the time is, wherever you're watching me from. So today's election day in Nigeria, and I wanted to just document the day and just say a few things about some of the things that have been on my mind. I think in all my life, I have never really understood the power of a government like I have in the last few weeks. I know that, yes, the government is powerful. A lot of times I look at people who are contesting for positions in government, and I think to myself, like, is it that serious? Why are they killing themselves over it? Why are they cheating so much, lying so much, stealing so much? But I understood a little bit better in the past few weeks. And that's because of the current situation in Nigeria. Today is the 25th of February, 2023. And just a few weeks ago, the federal government had said they wanted to redesign the Naira note. And they had their reasons. Part of which was to help the economy, to help prevent vote buying during elections, many other reasons. However, the impact on regular citizens like myself was not well thought out. At least I know that because I see that we started to buy cash, and that was a very scary time for us, particularly in Abeokuta. There was a time when the protests came really close. Like, I remember this particular day I had gone to pick away from school. I even vlogged that day, but for some reason or the other, I wasn't able to put out the vlog. I think I lost a major part of the footage. That was the day that I saw that, this thing is actually serious. More serious than I thought it was. Normally in Nigeria, right, we are built to do without the government. Like, the government is supposed to provide amenities. The government is supposed to help make the life of the citizens easier. The government is supposed to be like the father of the citizens, you know what I mean? To provide what they need, to make sure that there are rules and laws that is guiding the country, like a father would do a home. In terms of how we cater to our needs, security, healthcare, and major needs that that an individual needs to survive in life. So even like electricity, infrastructure, in some places, homeowners build the roads, and the government is supposed to do this. Education, super expensive. Government free education is almost useless because of the value of the education that's been given at that level. So we've been used to this for a really long time. I moved back to Nigeria 5 years ago. This year will be 5 years that I moved back to Nigeria from the US. And one of the most comforting things I remember when I was moving back was that I could create my own reality. Like, if I could afford to buy fuel in my generator to generate electricity, or if I could afford to buy solar panels and to have inverters and solars in my house, which is one of my greatest desires and my greatest need for 2023. Personally, I really want to have that, because even when the whole unrest started and we had scarcity in fuel, it was extremely difficult to produce our own electricity. So apart from the fact that we are doing these things ourselves, they make it extra hard to do. So you are trying to work hard to make money, to earn money, to be able to at least have a reasonable standard of living for yourself and your family. All your efforts are frustrated. So we try to use generators to power our appliances, to have electricity in our homes, but then they increase the price of fuel, they make it super expensive. We can't buy, and even when they make it expensive, at least make it available. It's expensive and it's not available. Those periods and see, that's part of why, as a creative, I just get numb. I'm looking forward to the time where I can have and meet all of these needs. For instance, if I have solar, the government doesn't control solar energy, so there'll be that time in my life, I know, and that season. But for now, I'm here, and I'm now even understanding this whole power of the government thing, because you may have the money to buy fuel, no matter how expensive they say it is. Sometimes when you don't even mind buying it at that price because you have to provide electricity, then it's not available. And these kind of things disturb people's mental health. I know me particularly, like, I've not been okay. That's just the truth. You look okay, you show up, you have to be there for your children, but these things are not normal. And to have lived a life that everything's available, this is just 5 years ago, not like so long. Everything is available. There's electricity, there's good road network, all of these things. There's internet, there is security, there is healthcare. Coming to a place where you really have to do all of these things yourself, and even when you want to do it, it's frustrated. It's been a very difficult transition that I think I'm still not done transitioning into this life. This election, as much as I pray and wish and hope that it is the tipping point, it is what we need as a country, something deep down inside me knows that this is not it. So the election, yes, we might get a favorable candidate to win, the person who is the ray of hope, the person who, a lot of people in my generation are saying they're going to vote for. We might get him to come into power, but that's not going to be what will change Nigeria. I strongly believe that a revolution is what's going to change Nigeria. And every time a revolution happens, there's going to be bloodshed. That's why, this video is kind of like a sad video for me, because I know that we're going to have to get to that point. I remember when this whole cash situation was happening, I kept telling my husband that it's going to get worse. That particular day, when the riot was going to break out in Abeokuta, as we left the house to take Zoe to school, I was saying that because there were so many people in front of banks, and I was saying, look at how quiet and calm they are. At least we thank God they're still quiet and calm. And to get to a time when they will no longer be quiet and calm, and trust and believe. Before 12 noon, we started hearing that there was riots all over the town, and everywhere was, there was unrest. And it just shows me the power of government, because all it took was for the government to say, we're changing the note. This particular currency is no longer legal tender. I find that crazy, because even when the cash became scarce, we had to start buying cash. Normally, we would pay 200 naira to withdraw 10,000 naira. When the cash scarcity started, we started to pay 1,000 naira for 10,000 naira. Then it turned to 2,000 naira. And as I speak to you right now, it's 3,000 naira to withdraw 10,000 naira. And 10,000 naira can barely do anything. To run my household in a day, let me not even go into that, because this is not the video for that. But if you want to know, I can tell you. And I am thinking of making another video to highlight the major difference between when I came in 2018 and now. Things have changed for the worse, unfortunately. And I don't blame people that are jackbuying, people that are going to Canada, going to the UK, going anywhere they're going, Australia, Germany, anywhere they are going. I don't blame people. Conditions of living in Nigeria are just so terrible that you wouldn't wish it on your enemy to be in this country. But we're here, and for we that we're here on assignment, because, there are different times I've had to ask God, did you really send us here? Are we really supposed to be here? Because I didn't have to be here. Could have settled back in the US, but I'm here. At different times, God still shows us evidence that He's with us, and that's what keeps us going. So as we go to the polls today, unfortunately, I was not able to vote because I was not able to get my PVC because of Nigerian factor. Story for another day. Many times I went to the INEC office, but wasn't able to get it done for different reasons. But I'm so determined that in the next election, my vote will count. Yeah, so that's my rant / venting about Nigeria and the situation of Nigeria right now. And I really just pray that we get to where we want to get to. Because, see, guys, Nigeria is a great country. Nigeria is a great country. I dare to say that again. Nigeria is the greatest country on earth. We're not only blessed by natural resources. One of our biggest blessings, which is also our biggest problem, is our people. Nigeria has the best breed of human beings ever created. I'm not saying that because I'm Nigerian. I'm saying that because it's facts. Our mindset, our drive, our tenacity, our creativity, our gifts as human beings. I think that one of the greatest resources that Nigeria has that we're yet to tap at all is human resource. And I'm really now looking forward to a time where my life and the essence of my work and why I've come back counts in society and even in governance. I didn't used to take government seriously, but now I do. I see that they are super powerful. The time when we started buying currency, the currency we bought the day before, by the next day, the government has said is no longer legal tender. The central bank was saying something else. The president was saying something else. And the type of confusion, disorderliness in our government is alarming. But even when it trickles down, corruption, you see it in the essence of society. Like, you see 12-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 8-year-old young boys who have a very distorted worldview, who think about life as just a place they've come to make money, who don't have value for life or property. There's no value for life anymore. These children, you have conversation with some of these street children, they will tell you that they don't mind to kill to get money. And when I see those kind of things, it gets scarier. As I conclude, Nigeria has gone to the polls today, February 25th. And I really, truly pray that beyond the elections, the change we desire, beyond the election, push we desire, the tipping point, turning point will come sooner than later. And that if there will be indeed bloodshed, it won't be too much, or at least it won't come near you. Please say a prayer for Nigeria, and I hope this video reminds you that government is indeed powerful. And if you didn't used to care about government or governance or politics or policies, it's time to start caring, because these are the people that will determine how you live your life and how your children live their lives even after you're gone. I'll see you next time. Don't forget to be the best version of you. God bless you. Bye.